Jake Klein, Photog Travels. So today is going to be the last day on the road with 1,000 trails or encore anywhere in sight. So there's a part of anxiety on that. When you're dry camping or Elks Lodge or using some of your apps, Allstays or freecampsites.net, things like that, RV Parky, you're sometimes risking some things. I don't have a four-wheel drive vehicle. There has been one time in which I followed, I think it was RV Parky, and I ended up getting stuck in the mud. Trucks had to come pull me out. That was an expensive and scary day, and I still to this day don't know if there was any damage done to the RV, whether it pulled the alignment out or anything like that. So that part of the anxiety is always prevalent, in that you have to plan a little bit better, but you learn. So I used to just go, oh, there's something 2 miles off the road. Now I will take the time to read the reviews. I'll look up on the area, see if I can see it, not just on the app, but on the internet itself, see if there's any information about where it is that I'm dry camping, to make sure. There's also been a few that I've gone to that were listed as free campsites, and then I got there and it was closed. So I've started now doing a backup. So 5, 10 miles, 15, 20 miles away, I will look for something else just in case it's getting late and I'm getting tired and I get to a place and sure enough it is BLM land that's closed, or somebody bought the land and it's no longer free. So the second part is that it is nice to stay in one place for a few days and spread your wings, so to speak. In other words, you don't have to worry that everything is constantly closed and sealed up, and you can kind of, let your hair down, so to speak, and not exactly make a mess of your home, but, relax a bit. When you're on the road, everything has to be tightened up and ready to go, and everything has its place, and which is fine, but there's definitely a difference. And also, when you're staying in a place for a few days, you get to meet new people, walk around, travel a bit, and that is certainly fun. Just yesterday I went on a 2-mile walkabout. I will be including those pictures probably in this video, which takes me to where I am right now. I am in Tahoe Valley. Tahoe, I don't think they say it like that. Tahoe Valley, maybe they do. Tahoe Valley Campground, which is a part of 1,000 Trails Encore. A lovely campground for what it is. It's a campground in the middle of the woods. Fortunately, this one is right next to the town. Literally, I walked to the town, and I rode my bike over there. Did some food shopping and some sightseeing. Went to some thrift stores looking for a nice leather jacket for riding. Something to keep me warm and protect me just in case. And then Didn't do much more sightseeing than that because I was only here for 2 days. But everybody here has been very friendly. And I can see that in the summertime, this campground really thrives. The problem with some of these, the location is that, they get these harsh winters. So the campgrounds are not, perfectly kept up, there's snow everywhere. So, you deal with it, and some campgrounds are nicer than others, but this one, location-wise, is fantastic, and the spaces are close, but not any closer than, half of the ones that I've been to, at least. Some give you a lot more room, but, I don't have any noisy neighbors or anything like that, so good time by all. Okay, so as I stated, this is my last one for a while, all the way to Pennsylvania. So I'm going across country. I am taking Route 80, or Route 80, depending on where you're from. And along the way, I will stop and see some friends like Tim and Nancy when I get to into Utah. They're in Orem, so I'm going to go say hi to them. That's kind of just a little bit off 80, but I will always make a detour for good friends. And I'll spend a couple days with them. I've got to do a couple repairs on PD, my RV. Actually, upgrades. I think I'm going to do while I'm there. Some stabilizers. And then also, my main laptop, the battery stopped working, so I have to work on that. So I ordered a new battery from Amazon. That comes in. Unfortunately, it's in Asus or Asus, depending on where you're from again, or Asus. And the battery doesn't just pop out with pushing a couple slides. You have to take the whole damn thing apart. The screen off, the keyboard off, everything, just to get to it, and then put everything carefully back on. So that's a project that I will pay somebody to do, because I don't want to screw up my laptop. So once that gets up and running, I'll be able to upload more videos, because that's the workhorse that has all the programs for the video editing, etc. What else did I want to touch on? My next stop will be in, again, one of these names that you can pronounce too. It's Ely, Nevada, or Nevada. There is a right way to say it, but I just think it's funny. And it's either Ellie or Eli. Nevada. Anyhow, the only reason I'm stopping there is it's exactly at the 2.5 hour mark, which is about my limit right now before I get a little too sleepy. I can do 8 hours of a drive, but why kill yourself? So I do 2.5 hours. That kind of broken down math wise, that's giving me about 5 or 6 days per state, and then obviously some states are smaller, it won't take that long, therefore I can use those days in another state when I go to visit a friend. So that's how I kind of worked out my math as I make my way to Pittsburgh for a few gigs I've got coming up with my good buddy. I don't even think we need to edit this. With my good buddy Bill Jacob. Always funny to say his last name, because legally that's my first name, spelled differently, but which I may be changing to Jake, because my dad gave me the okay to do that when I just visited him. Anyhow, one other thing I wanted to touch on. I have not done a video in a little while. It's a personal video, not of where I'm, what's going on at the time, as far as the campgrounds or whatever. And that is that when I was in Vegas, one of the health things that I did was have a sleep apnea test. Sure enough, severe sleep apnea was causing all the headaches I was having. For the most part now, the update is that I've been using my CPAP, which is actually, mine is called a BPAP machine. Same thing, just a little bit of a different setup. It takes some getting used to. When I'm able to use it for a good 5 hours of sleep, and then maybe I sometimes will take the mask off and then sleep another hour. I'm not waking up with headaches, and I definitely have more energy, so that definitely makes a big difference. I can't tell, excuse me, if I'm snoring or anything, because, well, I do this solo, so there's nobody to say, hey, you're not snoring anymore, or anything like that. Some nights I get a little overwhelmed having, however many pounds of pressure of air blasted through my nostrils. I chose the smaller, simple gel one. I think it's called Comfort Gel. The big masks one, although are easier to breathe with on, having straps squeezed against your head all night does not make for a good night's sleep. And I am a tosser and turner, so that definitely doesn't work. So yeah, that's kind of the update on the CPAP. I'm, trying to use it as often as possible. I'm using it every night for sleep. I'm trying to make it all the way through a good 6-7 hours of sleep. I've done that once or twice, and I feel great that day. But it certainly is. I'm a dreamer. In other words, I love to dream. It's messing with my dreams. First world problems. It's okay. So I'm hoping that eventually I won't have to use the machine. I don't want to be like some of the people on the forums that I belong to that say, yeah, I'm in my 20th year. I don't want to use this for 20 years. I love sleeping and snuggling into the pillow and doing whatever, but I'll do whatever it takes. If I have to use a pillow that keeps me more upright, I'll do that. If I have to learn to sleep more on my back and less on my sides, fine. Whatever it takes to be healthy and live a long and happy and healthy life, then I will do it. Including losing weight, which I don't know if I've lost any, but I am trying. I'm eating better, and I'm certainly trying to get out there and do, at least a couple miles a day. And when I'm in the RV, if I'm sitting for too long, I actually sit and, not sit, I do a little bit of yoga, and then I do a whole bunch of squats so that, my leg muscles are keeping going. And then, like I said, I do like 2 or 3 mile walks. Sometimes I'll do 2 miles and then come back, work on the computer for a bit or do some stuff around the RV, and then I'll go for another mile walk. I think last night I did like another 1/4 mile walk as it was getting dark. So just because I wanted to kind of exert that last bit of energy so I'd get a good night's sleep, which I did. So that's about it for this one. Not sure what I'm calling these yet. I've got friends that have names for the times that they do the videos. Manic Monday, that's not what they call it, but Terrible Tuesday, that's not it either. So I don't know what these are going to be called. Friday follow-ups, maybe, who knows. Anyhow, I appreciate all the love, and please leave your comments below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my page, I hope it's exciting enough that you would want to come back every once in a while, if not on a regular basis, and say, I wonder how that journey of Jake's is going. So again, Jake Klein, Photog Travels. Y'all have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching.